You know, obesity is an epidemic now. How long before you're endangering your child's health and can lose your child? That's a speculation. But when you're talking about health plans that will be imposed on you and will dictate your health, what you're supposed to eat, and how it is that you maintain your health, when you're talking about a cult of exercise that is actually going to be restricting your ability to use your vehicle. And I know how crazy this sounds. I really wish this was crazy, that I was making this up. I am not. This is a seamless plan. It is totally comprehensive. Okay, so here we go. Americans' wealth takes a big loss. This was back in December. Americans' wealth last summer suffered its biggest quarterly loss in more than 2 years as stocks, pension funds, and home values lost value. But at the same time, corporations are amassing record cash stockpiles, $2.1 trillion at the end of September of 2011. This is a manipulation using the cover of environmentalism. The rigid control of a totalitarian state is in progress right now. And you know, we think it can't happen here. We think it can't possibly happen here because they've left the shell in place. We think it's not happening here, but it can happen here. It is happening here right now. This is what it looks like. The USA Patriot Act, the National Defense Authorization Act, it designates the world as the battlefield. It gives the government the right to detain and murder United States citizens on our own soil if they're suspected of being a threat to the government. When you're talking about drones, they're saying they're going to have 30,000 drones in the air by next year. When you're talking about a 1 million square foot building being built right now in Utah that will house your records. When you're talking about the fact that the FBI right now can do domestic surveillance on you, does not need a warrant to get your hotel records, your bank records, your internet records, your telephone records. How about that Fourth Amendment, huh? We're talking about loss of our rights. Big time. This is what it looks like. All totalitarian states share the same characteristics. Total control of property, education, markets, and production. Total information, surveillance, loss of free speech, and dissent. Restricted movement. They also share the same philosophy, and that is communitarianism. It's all for the common good. It's all for the fatherland. It's all for the homeland. Can you believe we accept that word? It's all for the homeland. As an individual, you are selfish. You have to think about the common good. What else do they share? The Spartan present. You've got to restrict. You have to conserve. What am I, a pig? Do I just use up everything I can possibly think of, turn my tap on and leave it running and leave all my lights on? No. What this is a plan to restrict your ability to be independent. Smart meters are part of this plan. Smart water, gas, and electric meters. If you haven't got a gas or electric smart meter yet, I suggest that you fight to keep that off of your property. And water meters are coming. Now, you know what? I don't know if they have health issues. I have no idea. The thing that I talk about is the fact that they can be shut off remotely without anyone coming onto your property. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you go to turn on your light, and there's nothing happening there. Dissent is not permitted under this plan. What else do they share? They share the vision of the glorious future. Yes, the vision of the glorious future. The skies are always going to be blue. We're going to be riding our bikes. We're going to be downstairs in the coffee shop. Nobody's going to be working. Life's going to be great. There goes the train. The vision of the glorious future that is enabled by the Spartan present. What else do they share? Terror. The war on terror is a war on you. Have you traveled lately? You traveled? Been to the airport? I refuse to do the hokey pokey for them. I won't go through their little thing that they say is not going to be hurting me. I won't do it. So I have to go there a half an hour early. I'll show you why. I'm standing there like this, and she's on me, you know. I'm just using the back of my hand. Oh, first of all, when I first let them know that I need a pat down, that I'm not going to go through their machine. Female pat down over here. Female pat down. Woman refusing to go through. Female pat down required over here. Female. Stand over there, ma'am. I'm standing there. People are walking by, they won't make eye contact with me. Oh no, I must have done something wrong. They're going to be looking at me. No, I'm like cut out of the herd. So now I get taken over and I'm like this. Here's what I say. Is this the best thing you could find to do for a living? Have you ever asked yourself how far you're willing to go for the money? Is there anything that you're not willing to do to me that they tell you to do? And then when they get all the way down there, I go, I'm a lesbian. That keeps me there an extra half hour. Yeah, it's all for the fatherland, the homeland, for the common good. The common good is whatever they say it is. So who's doing it to you? Let's get down to it. Here we go, removing the roadblocks. How to make sustainable development happen now. Bank of America, American Bar Association, Berkeley Law, UCLA Law. Pick this up in Berkeley. Does that look good? Can you see it? That's smart growth. Doesn't that look like, ooh, can't wait to move in there, man. That looks good. Yeah, how about this? On Common Ground, put out by the National Association of Realtors. All about how great smart growth is. How about this one? This is put out by the American Planning Association. Now, you know, it helps to know when you're at war, that you're at war. They know they're at war. We don't. It's like there's been a football game going for the last 20 years and the other team's been out on the field making touchdowns and we've been having a kegger in the parking lot. But now we got our helmets on and our pads on and we're out on the field and we're making some points. We're up on the board. I'll tell you what, here's the American Planning Association. They just put on a 12-week-long communications boot camp for planners, to teach planners how to re-propagandize the public, because we are out here telling the truth. What else do they say in this? They say, key strategy, inoculate elected officials. They want planners to go to elected officials and say, hey, don't pay any attention to those people. They don't know what they're talking about. We have no idea what Agenda 21 is. Oh, that Agenda 21. No, that's just an old, dusty plan that has no binding impact on us here in Wolfboro. They're lying. It says here to cultivate influentials. What else does it say? It's reframe planning in economic terms, and you'll see that. Oh, life is great with planning. You want work, you want more jobs. Planning is what you need. Now, you know, am I against planning? Everybody plans. You plan when you get up in the morning what you're going to do. Regional planning is important for transportation, right? You don't want your road to end at the end of your county. You need it for some things. This is not what you need it for. This is social engineering. This is redesigning government. That's what they call it. and redesigning your future. They say to conduct aggressive outreach and have a game plan for the opposition. They are fighting now to stay alive. You know why? Because your town, I bet, has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on consultants for these plans, and hundreds of thousands of dollars for planners for these plans. And any organism, organic or inorganic, will try to stay alive and do whatever it can to protect itself. And when you are a planner who has been indoctrinated from the entire time you have gone through school to think that what you are doing is good, and that what I am talking about is just collateral damage for good planning, you're going to have trouble with that planner. There should be Nuremberg laws for planners. Planners are not there to stop you from using your property. There should be Nuremberg laws for people who, you know, I'm sorry, but in 1945 was about the last time that we accepted, if I don't do it, somebody else will. Or I was just following orders. This is an anti-American plan. Private property rights extend to your body. This plan is a whole life plan. Now, who else is doing it to you? In your universities, you'll find, for example, Geography 300, Sustainability for the Common Good, 3 credits. It's a core course for the BA. That happens to be Oregon State University, but you'll see it elsewhere. You'll see federal agencies that were in the President's Council of Sustainable Development who are partnering in 501c3s with private organizations, the Smart Growth Network. You'll see them partnering with environmental groups. You'll see HEALS, Healthy Eating, Active Living, New Hampshire. That's supposed to be about eating an apple a day. No. It's about updating your general plan and adopting zoning ordinances. Community-oriented policing. That's under the Department of Justice. Community-oriented policing. That was supposed to be for gang control, but now it's in every single community, and what they're controlling is you. Monitoring and surveilling. Smart growth is about keeping you from having any private outside place to go. And you know, if you live in the town next to mine, it's against the law to smoke in your apartment. More and more things will be crimes. You will find yourself breaking laws that you never knew existed. Fusion centers. Code enforcement ambassadors. That's where you too can be a junior code enforcement officer going around your town and ratting out somebody who has a car parked on their lawn. Your neighborhood association will actually be farmed. The city will be looking for people that they can bring in to say that they speak for the entire neighborhood. This is how they do it. They put these plans up, and then your neighborhood association president says, I think this is great, and our entire neighborhood is supportive of it. And you're like, I don't even know who this is, and I don't support it. And they say, well, you're not the neighborhood association president. Try and be a neighborhood association president now and object to this. I dare you. Consultants, lawyers, planners, there is huge, big money in green. Huge money in green. We're talking about money, big trillions of dollars in green. Who else is doing that? Siemens Corporation. You might remember Siemens Corporation as a German corporation that was about to go bankrupt right before Hitler took power. But then Hitler generously offered them slave labor from the concentration camps. And they developed technology. They are into solar, light and heavy rail cars, the smart grid. They give grants for sustainable communities, partnerships. They are involved. They partly funded Growing Smart, legislative guidebook with model statutes for planning and the management of change, Siemens Corporation.
GrokTV.